What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Some of you guys might know me as one of Konami's harshest critics. This channel is clearly unsponsorable by them, and I call them out when they do something like turn all foil side sets into collector rare sets with terrible choices and run that into the freaking ground, or Blazing Dumpster Fires a set, the dry sets for the past year-ish. But let's face it, we also had 2019, 2020, some of the best years of Yu-Gi-Oh! They heard us out on Ban Firewall, and since that, I have not heard as big a chant on the community for complaining, and I'm one to love to complain, over unlock over 10,000 cards, Asterisk continued, some cards may require event participation or in-game purchases. Let's get together and call it dead on arrival. You see even Simo addressing this because a ton of people are saying, the moment it's like Duel Links, we're all gonna come out and say this. I want to go back in time, and there's also a huge update on this, by the way, that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization has translated, because people were like, how are they gonna unlock it? Is it gonna be slowly? Are you gonna be able to play instantly? What's gonna happen? I think from the trailers it was pretty clear the meta was going to be involved, but in case you didn't read into that one, we have official confirmation on some stuff there to update that is really quiet from everybody who basically wants to clickbait this phrase into their arguments of, Konami's back at it again with their pay piggies and this or that kind of stuff. This phrase fits exactly the last video game, a much less important video game, Legacy of the Worthless. I mean Duelist, sorry Rada. When it comes to Legacy of the Duelist, I grinded this when it first dropped, I believe on the PS3 or 4. I was in the top 8 for so long in case they were gonna do a Yu-Gi-Oh! Worlds again for a video game. Something that actually hasn't happened in over a decade since the Game Boy Advance games, and people were actually to play into Yu-Gi-Oh! Worlds for the video game. How exciting. Now, that's why the levity is over here. This video game has been stated to have official tournaments and likely world-level tournaments anticipated, and that's why a lot of people are anxious of how will the pay model work? Is it pay to win? Well, if you read this, it actually has the exact same pay model as this. Now, this is no confirmation, but this is to show you how bad you guys are freaking out, and maybe it's warranted with Konami's history, but you had to buy some structure decks in-game after already purchasing the game to access Jin, which was huge for Necros during this year, as well as Dark Law, which was another big card. Then a later update gave access to stuff like Satellar Knights, and you still had to pay for that too, just $5. Everybody wants this to be completely free to play, and then you just pay for the skins, how much money they'll make off that Pot of Greed to the side, or the Dark Magician, and that kind of stuff. Look, this isn't going to be dead on arrival no matter what, and I don't think it's going to face the Duel Links pay model, mainly because of this, which again is hugely left out of the conversation. Edit from V-Jump Play, featuring more than 10,000 different cards from the OCG and TCG. In this game, you will be able to use more than 10,000 different cards from the very beginning of service. Now, does that say you have to pay from them or grind to unlock them, or how that's going to go? Because it did say unlock over 10,000 cards, which is why everyone freaked out over the pay model. In this game, they really wanted you to play, to grind, to earn points, to get those packs opened. And they have stated that this is not as casual as a game for Master Duel. That Master Duel is going to be more competitive, so people are freaking out maybe there's no in-game system. I have to say, on the back end of, if they can prove people are playing this game hours on end and actually making smaller in-game purchases such as those skins, guess what? They prove a major success in the game if they can show the proof in the pudding. And how many Yu-Gi-Oh! Addicts are constantly on dueling, but constantly on that kind of stuff? How did we grind Legacy of the Duels to stay in the top 8? We played every freaking day on this channel, and you guys know that I ended up on the front page of Twitch several times before you needed to be partnered. It was freaking awesome. My viewership went from 30 people to 200 people. That's why people are so apprehensive about this game. It's the first thing that can really get the community into other eyes besides an anime, and major networks won't take the anime anymore. Nickelodeon got sick of it. Now it's on Pluto TV, a completely free app. This is the kind of thing that we need to revive the community, to get to new eyes, to rekindle people's old love for the game. And if there's a huge paywall, it's not going to happen. But with 10,000 cards immediately available, do you think there's going to be certain booster packs with all those cards for 10,000 cards? Highly unlikely in my opinion, but maybe I'm a little optimistic there. 10,000 cards immediately accessible, though, really tells a different story than what everybody is saying about, well, I wonder how the cards are going to be unlocked. They'll release it slowly. Like, no, it's not going to be like Duel Links in that aspect. Immediately, we're going to have that turned on. Ranging from cards shown before, like Access Code Talker from recent years, you can duel with a massive card pool that includes legendary cards like Dark Magician and Exodia, the Forbidden One. So they're pandering some DM nostalgia in there, as they always do. Some cards can only be obtained in events or through purchases. This could be as simple as maybe prize cards for events, since there are going to be events. That's actually exciting that you have to participate in events to get access to certain cards. That's really cool. Could that level maybe future formats depending? Yeah, maybe there's a participation promo for everybody, as they did recently for that remote duel YCS, or there's, you know, prize cards. We don't know what this is. Stop overreaching. Stop overreacting. This is coming from a YouTuber who reacts to the ban list. We don't know collectively. You're allowed to be apprehensive. You're allowed to look at Konami's history. But for a video game, this could be further from Duel Links than anything when we're immediately getting that card pool. Further information about this game will also be later revealed through V-Jump Play. So they're going to hear you. They're going to hear the anxiousness. Trust me, they have heard how many people are willing, or saying they're willing, to pay for the skins, pay for battle passes, pay for subscription models. They're definitely keeping their ears to the ground on that. But how they approach it, your guess is as good as mine. But I've been around this community a lot longer, and I see one video games model that does fit another. I'm not saying that's going to be it, but literally the wording does fit Legacy of the Worthless. And let's talk about Link Evolution real quick. The unfinished renders on release, how terrible it looks. You can tell they worked harder. So yeah, they probably do expect a little more money, but it could be that, oh, you want the next set of updates? Oh, this is $10, causing you to pay maybe each time a set releases $10, which is a lot of different sets, leading up to around $120 a year to keep up. How many video games still get that are on actual systems? Not a whole lot, unless you're doing MOBAs and that kind of stuff. And Yu-Gi-Oh players will be pretty fast to pay out that kind of money. Now, if it ends up being $1,000 a year, like you're trying to keep up with IRL meta decks and unable to buy, sell, and trade cards, which, hard guess, they're probably not going to allow you to buy, sell, and trade cards because no system has, including Duel Links, well then, we have a different story on our hands, and yeah, but I'm going to wait to see how it turns out. You probably should too, instead of overreacting, overreaching, and overgoing for this, because for all we know, we're going to get the Triffs. I hope Master Duel is pay to win. We're going to get the Simo. It is like Duel Links. Or we're going to get the Me, where it's like an updating version of Legacy of the Duelist, where they keep taking those payments, knowing their servers are going to get slammed during tournament time, knowing that they actually have to keep those lights on in that sense, as well as continuing to get playtime through the game to show people, yes, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is still doing amazing even off of our mobile Duel Links that isn't Yu-Gi-Oh! Thanks for watching today's video. Hopefully at least this update tells you a different story than everything going around, because I've heard so many freaking theories and I'm tired of it. It's just like people who make theories over what's going to be in the Megatons and name sets that completely can't be in the Megatons. There's a lot of out there, oh, this will be packed this way, this will be packed that way, and we're slowly going to get it. No, it looks like we're getting it all at once for the most part. But yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. What are you doing here if you haven't subscribed already? Please hit that button and like this video if you at least enjoyed the conversation. I'm apprehensive too. I'm nervous. I really want this game to be good for the community, and I don't think it's going to be as bad as people are making it out to be, but I could be wrong there too, of course.